Okay, so I forgot what was the last thing I filmed on the Impala with the Ruchis, but I had just finished putting it together. I was letting it run to see if the problem happened again, and the customer ended up coming by. He was super happy with it, so he ended up just taking it with him right away. So that car is gone. He's gonna bring it back. We got a whole bunch of oil leaks. A couple of you commented on it. So we had a bunch of oil leaks in there we have to take care of. So I think next week after Christmas, he's gonna bring it back, and we're gonna tackle, I think, the oil pan gasket, possibly a rear main. But I mean, you guys saw it was super dirty under there. So I'm just gonna include this video because there's additional diagnosis that we have to do. This guy here showed this car earlier. He's got the, I don't think these are the SD forged. I think these might be the LB forged reps. Oh, they might be SD forged. No, I think these are the SD forged 26s. But basically this car has some type of problem with the E-fans. So it looks like somebody attempted to add a relay here, and you can see here it melted. It's a pretty common problem. It actually starts in this little plug right here. That plug melts and shorts out, and it causes all kinds of problems. So we're gonna, he brought me an additional fuse box for it, but we may not need to go that far. We'll see, just depending on how bad they hacked up the wiring on that one. We're probably gonna have to put a new fan harness in it, because it looks like this one's been all cut, and yeah, they did some work on this thing. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Like, what's even the point of having this? Yeah, so that's the plan. I don't think the fans work at all, because the relay is out of here, and I see there's a couple of relays sitting right here for whatever reason. So that's the main thing. We gotta diagnose cooling fan issue, because of course it caused the car to overheat, because the fans aren't coming on. So I actually just got to the shop, and then we have this car here. This is the 604 L80 car that I did a couple months ago. It's back. The compressor locked up on them, and there was the belt shredded and some other stuff. So we'll, yeah, there's these pieces of the belt hanging here. So we'll get that sorted out. Little small stuff like that. And then we got another car we got to diagnose that has a, customer stated, has a strong coolant smell on the inside. So my plan for today, I'll probably make 2 videos today. One is going to be diagnosing and hopefully fixing this one. And then I'm definitely pulling the engine out of this one today, because I got the parts I need to fix that and get it off the lift. We'll toss this thing on the lift and we'll get started pulling the engine on that one. But yeah, so let's dive in this thing. I'm going to pull the, well, let's dive in it and go from there. All right, so first thing we're going to do is verify that the fans even work. Like I said, I have no prior history on this car. So we got the power probe hooked up, and I'm just gonna go directly into the fan terminals there. And I guess that's a good, this thing's a wiring nightmare. And then even look down there at the AC wiring is all screwed up there. Yeah, this one's gonna be fun. Oh, I can't see it. There we go. So yeah, so let's verify that the fans even work. All right. Okay. All right, so that's good. It's a grounded circuit. So let's see what happens. And see that? Pop the fuse. All right. So something shorted out in there. All right, so let's separate it from the actual car. Cut it. We'll cut it here. And we'll cut it here. So what happened there was I gave the fan power and it shorted out. So there's a short somewhere in there. So what I did now is I cut it, separated it, so now all we're connected to is the fan. So now we should be able to get something. There we go. All right. So we can confirm that both fans work. So he brought me another fuse box. I've never taken one of these apart, like as far as the pins and stuff like that. I imagine it wouldn't be too hard to swap it out without having to rewire everything. Because that would be a pain to have to, well, I guess it wouldn't be too bad, but it'd be quite a bit of work to splice all these wires in and everything. But for sure, if we are going to do this the right way, we're going to need the right harness here that goes down, that's not all chopped up and everything like that. So let me call Ivan, which is my parts guy, you guys know, see if he has a fan harness for the actual fans and then a harness from the fuse box as well. If I can confirm he has that, I'll get prices on that. We'll take a look at this fuse box, see how hard it will be to, you know, kind of take this one apart and swap all the pins over into a new one, or really just repair this one, because it might be easier to just go back in here and repair this ridiculousness here, because I'm pretty sure the short is not in the fuse box. 90% of the time is right here in this connector, right here. Actually, let's see if I can prove myself right, but hold on. All right, a couple things I want to show you guys. So looks like the main problem started right here. There we go. You see the secondary fan relay portions burned. So what somebody else did was they came in here, cut the wires from the secondary fan relay, and made another relay portion, but looks like the same thing happened. So what does that tell us? That tells us the problem's not with the fuse box, it's something in the wiring that's shorting out, causing the relay and the relay portion to melt. So if you got the same problem here and then you take it off the fuse box and the same problem happens on this external relay, then obviously there's something in the wiring that's shorting everything out, and it very well might be the fan. Sometimes the fans are no good, or it's pulling too much current and it shorts it out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this out the way, I'm going to pull the harness here, and I'm going to check the wires to the fan for any grounded circuits, or, you know, check the hot wires, make sure the hot is hot, ground is ground, whatever. And then even here, man, this car really just needs a new harness. I'm gonna see if Ivan's got a new harness, because it would actually be easier just to put a new harness on this car. Just put another 96 harness on it and be done with it. You know, that, because that would replace everything. New wiring the whole way through, and that'll fix all this crap here and all that. Let me see what that'll entail. If I can find the shorted wire pretty easily, then I'll leave it alone. But honestly, it'd probably be cheaper and less work to just put a new harness on it. Let's see. All right. So this is what I've concluded. I got this thing taken apart. I gotta figure out, well, I wish I still had the connector from this side that connected the two fans. I believe this is where the problem started. Maybe there was a short in this harness and it caused it to melt, because I don't see any burning on here. This looks fine, so I actually may be able to still use this and just reconnect this here, because it's got continuity. There's no short in the wire. The wire isn't damaged anywhere. Everything looks good. All the connections are good. So I think I'm going to repair this and just keep it. What I am going to do is, and it's sharing a ground with the headlight, so what I'm going to do... All right, well, all my GoPro batteries had died, so I had to let it charge for a little bit. So I've done some work in the interim. So I fixed this wire here. This is the main harness that goes in. Fucking light. This is the harness that goes in from the fuse box over to the fans. I reloomed it, soldered it in, got it all fixed. So all these wires are good. What I decided to do, I'm just going to get another aftermarket outside relay and mount it right here. Just run the wires, mount it here so everything works like factory. I'm going to shoot down to Ivan's and grab another fan harness with the correct plug, because I don't know what the hell is going on with this thing. Like, this doesn't even connect to anything. It's just an empty plug. So we'll go get a replacement fan harness that connects to the fans and then it will plug in here to the wire I repaired, and boom, that'll fix that. Right now, it's kind of late to be run down to Ivan. It's almost 5 o'clock, and where he's at, it's probably about, with traffic, probably like an hour. So I'll go tomorrow, earlier in the day sometime, try to get down there early before traffic picks up. So I can't do anything about that right now. But what I am going to fix is this mess here. Like, look at this. So I'm going to fix this. And then we got to fix that right there. See what's going on with that AC compressor wiring. He also wants me to wire in his turn signals on the mirrors. So we're also going to do that. But I'm pretty sure once we get all that situated, we should be good to go. Worst case scenario, just to get it going, I'll steal the fan harness off of another car that I think I actually have one. I got to double check, but I may actually have one in one of these boxes. But we'll get a replacement fan harness. I'm going to fix this mess right here. This just looks terrible. So we'll fix that up real nice and neat. And then I will replace this relay thing and put another one and maybe mount it like right here. Run the wiring nice and clean, loom it up, put it there so it works like factory. And I think that should get everything going. Should fix everything. Sorry I couldn't really show too much of the process because, again, all my GoPro batteries died. This one died in the middle of filming, and I forgot to put my little charger thing on the charger. So this one's charged now, but both of them were dead at the time. So I'll film what I can as far as repairing the wiring that I'm doing here, and we'll go from there. All right, that's a lot better. So what I did, I just recrimped these, put new terminals on them. He's got a little bit of a sound system in here, so I just put a thicker wire here on the alternator because that wire was all frayed. I reloomed everything, even the wire that goes up to the fuse box, and just kind of cleaned it up. Put a new terminal on it with a new post bolt because the other one was just completely stripped. So yeah, here's the old one here. It was just stripped. So not something that he paid for or anything. It was just, if I'm going to fix all this wiring and do all this wiring work, I couldn't very well give it back to him with that. So I don't know what this is for. I guess he's got it looks like he's got some bigger sounds in the trunk or whatever, but nothing's hooked up. So we'll just tuck this away. I mean, honestly, this wire needs to be replaced. It's all burnt to hell. So definitely would suggest just redoing that at some point. But I want to get this thing done, get it out of here. So I'm going to just get everything hooked back up. And once we get the new harness and the new relay connector, we should be good to go. And then I'll wire up the mirrors and everything. So I know this wasn't like a full in-depth diagnostic, but should have at least learned a little something. So all right, been a few days back on this thing now. Had the holidays, had Christmas, whatever. Hope everybody had a happy holiday. I'm not sure if I'm gonna include this in the original video or if this will be a second video because I didn't post the first one yet. I wanted to get some more footage. So just basically wrapping this thing up, we went ahead and got a new fan harness. So as you can see, it's plugged in like it should be right there. So we got all 4 connections, new harness plugged in, so all that's good. We redid the grounds, cleaned all that up. So what we're doing now is replacing this melted relay socket. This is the new relay. I'm going to mount it here. I'm just going to run the wire there, loom it, and so what I'm doing now is just getting it soldered in. So I'm just going to cut this old one off, put some heat shrink on it, solder it in, and should be good to go. So that's what we're doing now. tedious process, but we got it all wired up. It's wired in, it's mounted. Doesn't feel hot. I know before it was like melting and stuff, but I think that may be when the fans come on. So we're gonna fire it up. I'm gonna pull the coolant temp sensor out, and that should trigger both fans to come on, and we'll see what happens. So, moment of truth. This is relay hot. No, it's not hot. Oh, there's one. There, one is on. All right, let's do a little investigation. We got action. All right. So, finally got both fans to cut on now. Just had to rewire the relay a little bit to try to figure it out. I had it all screwed up. I had it on a ground trigger when it had to be on a positive trigger. So I had to go in and just, you know, move some of these wires around and everything. So I'm going to relume it, remount it. But we know now that it will cut on. It does work. So, all right, well, that's it for today. I'll catch y'all in the next one.